I'm Bob Hallmark in Longview today. Let's talk about something we've had a lot of experience with over the years, particularly the summertime, the spring, even the fall, and that is a pesky little critter that shows up every once in a while that is very destructive, the armyworm. And guess what? They're back. Now, I know a lot of you will probably say, well, it seems kind of late because we're actually moving into the fall. No, it's not. And to explain why that's happening, we're joined now by Gregg County Agrilife, Texas A&M Agrilife agent, Shaniqua Davis. Um, now, it, a lot of people would say that they seem kind of late arriving here, but they have arrived, haven't they?
They have arrived, and their actual full name is the fall armyworm.
Mm-hmm.
So they do hit in the fall. They can hit early. They don't really have a time frame of whenever they decide to come. Moths lay their eggs on the leaves, and they know when the optimal time with moisture, with vegetation growth, it is for them to be able to hatch out and come. So they are able to be viable on grass wherever they lay their eggs for quite some time.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures here. Over the years, we've seen them. They can be extremely destructive. Decimating entire, fields, decimating entire yards, things of that nature. They can take it right down to the dirt. But it's been so dry. Now, explain this. We've been in a drought,
Mm-hmm.
and you wouldn't think that they would show up, but something's happening that's drawing them out right now.
Yeah, so this year what I've been receiving is actually more homeowner phone calls. I've had a few this past week or so, and it's because homeowners are watering their grass, they're watering their plants. So yes, they generally hit hay fields, Bermuda grass pastures more than in your yards where you have, more St. Augustine, but they're not picky on what they eat as long as they do have some forage.
That's the thing that I've experienced is they're not particular about what they eat.
Right.
Anything is edible in
Correct.
front of them. Now, a lot of folks would say, well, what can be done about something like this? Because a lot of times when they show up in the millions, sometimes in the billions.
Yes.
When they show up.
Yeah, so it's just scouting your yard, scouting your pastures every morning whenever it's early. There's dew still on the ground. The best thing is to wear some rubber boots or some closed-toed shoes, and you'll see the worms that get on the bottom of or on the top of your feet. So they start out looking like little bitty green inchworms, and they grow quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start seeing quite a few of those little bitty green small worms, that's whenever you need to treat with an insecticide.
Okay, and you want to get an approved insecticide, obviously.
Correct.
Okay. So would it be advisable to go to, a lot of people like to do it themselves on this, but it would be advisable to go to an exterminator maybe for something like this?
You do not have to. You can purchase over-the-counter insecticides as long as you follow the label and it tells you the proper amounts to be able to put out for your area, for your yard, for your gardens, as well as your pastures.
If nothing is done about these insects when they show up, I'm guessing we can expect the worst because they really don't leave anything behind, do they?
They'll eat your yard down if they're left and it's the optimal forage that they like, but it doesn't hurt your grass. It doesn't hurt your plants. They will come back. It just might not look as pretty for a little while.
All right, so we shouldn't be surprised. They're great survivors. They just happen to, as you said, when they lay their eggs, they can, they can survive heat, cold, anything like that. And I'm guessing that's something we should not be surprised by.
Now, with the rain that we've just received, forage is slowly starting to grow back. So just be on the lookout.
All right, Shaniqua, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, and we'll have more on the story tonight on KLTV 7 News for KLTV WebXtra. I'm Bob Hallmark.